Improving your water where you live. Tonight, people who live in District 3 of Tyler had the chance to voice their concerns and ask some questions.
KLTV's Alex Weister spoke with residents to hear what they thought of the meeting and if their questions have been answered.
Really glad to see something like this happening. Very informative.
Tyler Water Utilities hosted their fourth open meeting for residents of Tyler, this time focusing on Tyler's northwest side.
Meetings like this will help individually, and it will help the community overall because, like I said, things like this are needed in all communities because it'll definitely enhance the community itself.
Whether it was questions about the meter replacement plan, which is currently underway, or questions about billing, residents had the chance to speak with multiple TWU departments.
I think what's really important is when you see something that's seems abnormal, it's so important to ask the questions and to get in touch with someone who can help you. And that's what we're trying to do with these meetings.
Residents at the meeting said they were happy with how the meeting went. Many pleased that they were able to sit face to face to have their questions answered rather than over the phone.
Here, you're able to actually talk with an individual who listens to every word and explains everything.
Another resident, Randy Carter, hopes to see this type of meeting happen in the future for other city departments.
I think more meetings like this should happen, not only with the water department, street department, police overall, more meetings like this should happen.
Alex Weister, KLTV 7 News.
There are two more meetings coming up. District 1's meeting will be on March 20th. District 6 folks will be on April the 3rd. Both of those meetings will start at 5:30 in the afternoon. We've got some eyes on tomorrow.